I regained 9.5 stone. The lightest I have ever gotten to in my life was 14.5 stone. And that was just after I took part in a reality TV show called The Biggest Loser when I lived over in the UK. After that period of time, I thought, you know what? I am fixed. My weight is fixed. I have lost the weight and therefore I am fixed. Couldn't have been further from the truth. I speak about this in the most recent episode of the Dose podcast with myself and Belinda, but I thought I'd expand on it a bit more because regaining 9.5 stone, I'd only lost 7.5 stone. So I regained all of that plus a further 2 stone in weight. And I regained that extremely quickly. I have graphs that show, I'm going to pop them up on the screen, that show my weight regain from 2012 up to 2024 actually, to show the various times that I have regained weight and every time I relapsed. And I think starting out on this journey this year, I had that same fear that this was going to be a momentary weight loss. However, the last time that I got to the current weight that I am now, 265 pounds, was 2013, 11 years ago. And that was the period of time when I was regaining my weight. Sitting back and looking at the pictures of when I was 14.5 stone, whilst the number on the scale itself doesn't really determine anything, how I looked does though, and I looked like somebody who had the joy of the world on him, so happy, everything was going brilliant. I was doing a load of media work, I was doing a lot of personal training with people, I was doing fitness classes, and on the outside looking at me, I'd say people thought, oh, he's got it figured out. He's fixed, he's got it figured out, the weight loss thing. When in reality, very quickly after hitting that low point of 14.5 stone, I started to regain that weight very quickly and continuously. I tried many times to try and, get a grip on things and to lose weight again. And I could lose weight. My body would lose weight for me when I went into a calorie deficit, because as we know, the fundamentals of weight loss is that you need to be in a calorie deficit. And that's not that hard to achieve. But what is difficult to achieve is to maintain that progress and maintain the weight loss that you get when your body and your brain is working against you constantly 24/7. That as much as I was going to the gym, I was counting my calories religiously in MyFitnessPal, I had worked with trainers, I had done everything that I was being told I should do to keep the weight off me. But yet it wasn't working. And I think that's the thing that feels different now about being on Mounjaro, is that the efforts that I'm doing now of focusing on my food and focusing on my movement, I've done all that before. However, the biological side of things, whereby that constant need for food isn't there anymore, is being quietened, and that I'm feeling actually full after eating, that is the difference that Mounjaro is making for me. That is not something that absolutely anything else in the duration of my life so far in these 42, nearly 43 years has ever been able to do for me. Having worked with trainers, having worked with nutritionists, having worked with some of the leading obesity experts in the UK before this medication was available, none of them were able to treat me the way that Mounjaro has. Because it's a new era of treatment for obesity. And you might be in the world of fitness or in the world of medical care, and you might think that this is an easy way out for somebody. It's not an easy way out, because I'm putting in as much effort as I ever have done to try and lose weight. I am in the gym 3 to 4 times a week. I am focusing every day on the food that I eat. I am putting in the huge amount of effort I put in that original time when I lost 7.5 stone. Now, the difference then was I was locked away for a reality TV show, just like Big Brother, with no access to the outside world. I was working out 5 hours a day and I was eating 1900 calories a day. That isn't sustainable for the rest of my life. Some people might ask, is it sustainable to stay on Mounjaro for the rest of your life? Why think of Mounjaro any different than any other treatment that people are on lifelong for any chronic disease that they have? There isn't stigma about that, and we need to shift the narratives that there isn't a stigma around Mounjaro either. Once people have shown a commitment to wanting to improve their health and their lifestyle and their habits and behaviours, and they're able to demonstrate that that has not worked for them before, but yet there's a treatment that's available that can help them, people should have a right to access that treatment without stigma, without shame, guilt or embarrassment from other people online or around them. I don't think they'll ever feel the shame or the guilt or the embarrassment or the feeling like a fraud that I did, particularly up to this year when I reached my highest weight ever of 24 stone. Throughout all my life, I'd never reached that stone. And it was that kind of turning point that made me originally think that I needed to go and get gastric surgery to fix me. And it was during that kind of journey that I discovered actually there's medications now that might work. I'd heard of Ozempic, but I thought that it was just a Hollywood hype for people that could afford it. And now I see that, you know what, there is actually light at the end of the tunnel. I actually feel proud of myself. I no longer feel like a fraud or a failure or somebody that has let other people down, especially myself. I feel that I actually have a proper chance at life again and at longevity, and that my body and my biology is working with me, probably for the first time ever in my life on any of the health attempts I've ever made. So I guess if you're somebody that is starting out on a journey, or maybe starting out in a journey again, and you're feeling afraid or overwhelmed, or maybe you're feeling like that fraud or that shame or that guilt, please, I promise you, there is better days ahead. You can do this, but it does take hard work and effort in terms of your movement and your nutrition, just like any weight loss attempt would. As I'd always say, the treatment of Mounjaro is just that. It is a treatment for biological inefficiencies in your body. It is not a cure for unhealthy habits and behaviors that we have learned over our lives. Those still need work. They may need therapy, and other supports from professionals. But the Mounjaro can definitely help your body work with you. And most of all, you deserve this. You should be proud of yourself for prioritizing your health. And as a brilliant woman once told me, never, ever give up, particularly on yourself.